Our women are doing better, but they're not doing well.
Explain that.
Because when I just gave that example about a woman hearing all of those things from a man and then getting the ick behind it, what you don't realize about yourself is that you're still caught up in the idea of what patriarchy is.
We don't have to worry about this. We already know that vulnerability with women is not something that any smart man is gonna do. Women are not.
I remember you guys said it's not safe.
Oh yeah, we don't trust y'all. You guys are, in my opinion, mature enough to handle the expansion of a man's perspective. You guys don't live our lives, and that's fair. And if you listen to what all the women said tonight, neither one of you guys said don't be open. You said to the limit.
So I think that we spend a lot of time focused on gender, where these are humanistic characteristics, that in order for you to feel safe with someone, then they have to demonstrate the qualifications of that. Patriarchy was created by men. So even if you took women out who held men accountable to the patriarchy that was designed by men, men still hold them to that standard.
In mass, women are the most unsafe space for many men, black, white, green, purple, or brown, to go be emotional to or show them some sort of even any type of vulnerability. Because if you show them intellectual vulnerability, they question your leadership. You show them emotional vulnerability, they question your leadership. Any type of vulnerability or shortcoming you show a woman, she's going to use that against you when it comes time for her to.
I feel like the majority of women look at men and say, like, you know, oh, you're sassy, or you over here bitching about that, because they're not thinking about the pressure that a man has.
As a woman who's in these streets, a lot of them are literally still stuck in that maleness, as you say.
Yeah. The simple answer is this: the same rules that we have for our daughter dating are the same rules that we have for our son dating. The same things that so many of us as men and potential men in waiting, we've gotten our humanity stolen from us. So the minute that you tell a boy that he shouldn't cry, because boys don't cry, is the minute that you have stolen that boy's humanity from him. So many of our women have been programmed into seeing men as stoic as their great grandfathers and grandfathers, but just don't know it. So when they have a conversation with a man who is emotionally in tune with himself, and he talks about something that hurt his feelings or something that he doubts about himself or something that he may fear, it gives a woman the ick. Very few people, our brothers are suffering, but I'm going to say this very loud, full-chested. Our women are doing better, but they're not doing well.
Explain that.
Because when I just gave that example about a woman hearing all of those things from a man and then getting the ick behind it, what you don't realize about yourself is that you're still caught up in the idea of what patriarchy is.
Yes.
Because we're all poisoned by it. It's not just the guys. It's the women too.
Oh, I've met quite a few women with internalized misogyny, and that are really
for sure.
Yeah,
So when this woman, now watch this, if we're talking about our sisters being the most educated demographic in the country, if you're the most educated demographic in the country, it would stand to reason that eventually that's going to turn into dollars. And if that turns into dollars, it stands to reason that you will probably be the bigger breadwinner in your relationship. Are you ready for that?
Okay, so let me ask you this. That is a very good
Most
question.
women are not.
So that is a very good question. That is a very, very good question. However,
because we got to have a real conversation now. I'm done having the surface level fake conversation. I went all the way, and I'm okay with that. I just want him to have feelings. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're lying.
You're right.
You're lying.
Okay, so let me say by way of observation,
Mm-hmm.
I have observed
Mm-hmm.
in relationships with friends, when the woman is the breadwinner,
Yes.
boy, does it get super complicated.
It gets so
but
complicated.
there's two things that are happening.
You know why? Because everybody has to retrain their brain.
Do women really want emotional, open men, or do they lose attraction once a man becomes vulnerable?
I mean, I prefer someone who I would say feels comfortable enough to share certain things with me. But I would offer a safe space for that. And I think a lot of times women don't offer the safe space.
I'll chime in. There has to be balance. There can't like this. I'm not here to counsel anyone, so it can't be a regular thing. Meaning that we should come into situations our best self. Yes, life does happen, and when it does, you have your partners to help you through that situation. But it can't be like a Kanye type dude. You know, he's a whiner. He's a person that complains so much. And it's not just like, guys, I don't want to be around a griping, complaining woman. If you don't like what's going on, then do something to fix it. So we can talk solutions and reasonably, you know, you go through a life situation. So if it's a job, like the economy hit, COVID happened, etc., we're going through this together. We'll have support. But the question is, what are the solutions and what are we doing to move toward it? I definitely can't, I'm not interested in dealing with no person that whines and complains all the time. If it equals that, I land there.
I want to chime in because both ladies are correct in that sense. I want to deal with someone who is definitely like aware of their own emotions and in control of themselves. But it can't be a thing where, like you said, T, like for anyone to just be whining and moaning, like I'm a problem solver as well. So I'm like, okay, now that this happened, like, what are we going to do to fix it? Like, how are we not going to get here again? Some more solution based.
Well, I agree, and I feel like majority of people won't want to sit around and mope and whine about something. So I just feel like if that's the case, sometimes it may be deeper. And we might have to just dig a little deeper to see what's going on with that person. It may be something that, you know, is affecting their mental health. And so everything just feels like it's piling on. So we can't just say we don't want to be with someone who's always like moping and whining around. We have to sometimes go a little deeper than that.
Let me ask the men, how do you guys, go ahead, Willie. So you want to respond?
No, I'm good.
Okay. When I ask the men, as men, how do we feel about being vulnerable with women? Is that something that we do? Is it something that we reserve for the right one, or we just keep it pushing?
You don't have to. Yeah, we don't have to worry about this. We already know that vulnerability with women is not something that any smart man is gonna do. Women.
Yeah, it's been. Yeah, I remember you guys said it's not safe.
Oh yeah, we don't trust y'all. But you guys are not, in my opinion, mature enough to handle the expansion of a man's perspective. You guys don't live our lives, and that's fair. And if you listen to what all the women said tonight, neither one of you guys said don't be open. You said to the limit, and I think that's sometimes the disparity. What y'all think is a limit? How do we know the limit? Is it 5 complaints per quarter? Is it once per month? You know, so what we as men typically tell men is don't tell her jack. Go ahead and remain in the frame that she can best accept, because as much as women will say that they're experts at emotions, you can tell when they're dealing with their male counterparts that they suck at it. They are not trustworthy. They're not equipped for it. I don't recommend it. I think as a man, you need to know what she's there for, what she can handle, what her true capacity is, and move accordingly.
Hit that on the head, pause. But I think that we have to understand that women typically claim to be more emotional, intelligent than men. And it's been proven not towards men. That's the fact. And I don't want to say all, because there are some women who are understanding enough to be able to listen to a man, get his actual perspective, and treat him accordingly. But the threshold is usually pretty low for women. They can't really tolerate a man. We're definitely not moping, right? But what's considered moping? What's the question? What's considered complaining? The main thing that women crave out of a man is security. They expect for him to provide her emotional security. So there's usually no room for men to lean on a woman emotionally, right? So it's one of those things where men, we talk to other men about our issues and we might mastermind. We don't necessarily cry to each other, but we get through it. We have that relatability, and we're able to be vulnerable with each other because they don't see us the same way. They're not expecting us to like understand every situation. Sometimes we help each other with things. If I have a strength in one area, then one of my brothers could help me in the area that I'm not strong in, and vice versa. But I think women, one thing that I've learned is that they can't unsee anything. Once they see you in a way where they don't feel secure with you, they can't unsee that. It's very easy to lose the respect of a woman. And I always say respect is hard to earn, easy to lose, and impossible to get back if you had it and lost it.
The thing is that that same characteristic is it's not gender bias. You can apply that to men, that very thing. So I think that we spend a lot of time focused on gender, where these are humanistic characteristics that in order for you to feel safe with someone, then they have to demonstrate the qualifications of that. So that person has had to show you some form of reliability, some form of openness, where you all had a safe space, because otherwise these very things that you just said, applies to men as well. Men weaponize things against men all the time. They call each other, pushies and all sorts of things and chumps. And even through that video is very interesting because patriarchy was created by men. So even if you took women out who held men accountable to the patriarchy that was designed by men, men still hold them to that standard. I land there. Thanks.
The worst thing a man can do, there's three things. You lose a fight, you tell your woman the complete truth, and then you go to her in a moment of weakness. Those are the three worst things you can do to a woman. It's going to turn her off faster than you fucking other women, calling out her name, or not bathing for a month. Because you can get past the last three. The first three, she's going to look at you different forever. Because women associate their man's ability to provide and things they're attracted to on that man's stability, his emotions, finances, personality, and character. So thinking that you could, if you want to go talk to a woman, go talk to a strange woman that you know, like a stranger. Just walk up to a random motherfucker on the stairs and be like, you know what, today, man, my mom died and I'm real sad about it. Because if you go tell your woman that, she'll hear it, she'll listen to you, she'll go to the funeral and shit. But if you grieve, if you take too long, you in her girls, you're in the group chat with her girlfriends. She's talking bad about you. That's just women's nature. There are some unicorns who aren't like that, but in mass, women are the most unsafe space for many men, black, white, green, purple, or brown, to go be emotional to or show them some sort of even any type of vulnerability. Because if you show them intellectual vulnerability, they question your leadership. You show them emotional vulnerability, they question your leadership. Any type of vulnerability or shortcoming you show a woman, she's going to use that against you when it comes in time for her to. You get beat up in front of your girl, now she feels like you can't protect her, even though you lost the fight to fucking Mike Tyson. Like, if you lose a fight to a UFC nigga, now you ain't say that, you ain't tell me I couldn't wear this when a UFC nigga was telling me was whooping your ass. Like, that's how women are in mass. Not all of them, but the majority of them are like that. So if a dude thinks that he can tell his woman about how bad something is or how something's weighing on him emotionally, all you doing is turning that girl's coochie into a desert.
It's just interesting because it's the same thing. Your dudes are going to, if you get your ass beat by a UFC nigga, your dudes are going to clown you.
No,
Yes, they are. They are going to clown you and say, you got your ass beat by the, oh, nigga, you better shut your mouth because you remember when you got your ass beat. It's the same standard across the board. Anything that you show vulnerability toward, anything that you show any form of weakness toward, it's not just the gender of the woman. Your men will also be like, oh, well, you failed in this particular thing. So like, because you mentioned leadership. So if you have questions, if you show vulnerability, there's a POTUS in office. If they show any form of weakness, people then start to doubt. So again, I don't think that this is a gender thing, that I think that humanistically that this is what happens.
So two things, right? One, we don't care about what women do or men do. We're asking what the question is about men and women. So all you're doing is say men do it too. But to fellas, for the rest of you niggas, actually men, like we're born men up here. Which one of you niggas would look at me crazy if I lost the fight to John fucking Jones or Mike Tyson? Like, y'all probably actually give me credit because I fought the nigga. So like, this is a perfect example of how like irrationally unrealistic women are about the men they swear they know. It's 4 men up here, and we all said the same thing. Trev, if I saw you get your ass beat by Bruce Lee, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna be mad at you because I gotta help you fight. The nigga gonna beat both our ass now. But I'm not gonna make fun of you because you lost to one of the most dangerous niggas on earth. True, you get beat up by Chuck Norris. I mean, my nigga, I'm sorry, that's Chuck Norris. Like, what the fuck are we supposed to do with that? That's not how that shit works with men. But a woman, though, knowing that John Jones is literally the most dangerous man on earth and the most prolific fighter in the history of combat sports, she thinks that her 5'7", 180-pound man is supposed to be able to defend her from him when he grabs her ass. That's how unrealistic women are.
I don't know. I kind of like, I hear you, and I'm glad you put those unicorns out there because I kind of experience things a lot differently. And so I actually deal with a lot of men, like even in my personal situation where they are extremely vulnerable. And like they cry, like they do all of that. And I don't look at them as like less of a man. I look at like being able to like express how you feel and get that stuff out as like a form of like communication. Like if you can't communicate, like things become stagnant for me. So I hear you.
What compassion?
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. My fault.
No, go ahead.
The difference with what she's talking about are those niggas she's not in a relationship with. So now,
I actually was including actually a dude that I am in a relationship with. And male friends as well.
But just in general, I would say that if we were talking about just women being sympathetic to men in general, not their men, I would say that there are a lot more women that could do that because y'all are typically the more sympathetic sex. Y'all see somebody get hurt, y'all do that. We see somebody get hurt, we take videos and send it to our homeboys. So like that's where we differ. The problem is we're talking about in relationships, and men being vulnerable in relationships is significantly different than romantic relationships. It's significantly different. There is a significant difference between me and you as friends and me coming to tell you about my bad day, or me and you as husband and wife and complaining about that same bad day. Because you get the multiple for me being able to complain when we're just friends will be higher. At some point, you get tired of me as your man coming to you with problems and it's not anything wrong with that. Just a simple fact of just women's nature. Y'all expect men to be stable. We're supposed to be rocks. And when we're not.
I was just gonna say that is so true. I mean, just looking at some of the friends that I have. So when he initially asked the question, I thought he was saying like, whining and wimpy, like who wants to be with somebody who's whining all day? That's just in general. I don't think you guys would want to be a woman that's whining all day. However, I've never experienced that where somebody, or maybe if they cheated or something, they're not going to want to tell me. But I don't believe that I've experienced where a person I was in a relationship with felt uncomfortable to share certain things with me because I felt like I offered that safe space. Just in friends, even friends, I feel like sometimes people like overshare with me. But I do have friends who who have, you know, made comments, and, you know, even if I'm around their husband or their partner and he goes to say something and, you know, they say like, you know, man up or stop complaining, things like that. So I do see that often. I feel like the majority of women look at men and say like, you know, oh, you're sassy, or you over here bitching about that, because they're not thinking about the pressure that a man has. I have a lot of empathy for, you know, I have empathy for, you know, oh boy, our famous chat friend. You know who that is. Just because like I just feel, you know, I feel bad when people can't express how they feel and have no let out. Like how do you guys
Amazing.
get your let out?